webinar here for Digifox for some time. As the app, we've fixed out a lot of the issues that users have been running into. The app has been really cleaned up over the last few weeks, and we've even been getting exciting features every week. That's one of the big things we're hoping to do. So above all, to give you all a quick overview, I know some of you might be extremely new to Digifox. Some of you might have a few weeks of experience using the app. I want to go ahead and just speak a tad bit on the philosophy. So Digifox itself is aimed at being an all-in-one finance app. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner in finance, just looking to get started, or someone who's looking, for example, to take their finance to the next level. We're really building a platform for anyone. So, once you've registered your actual wallet here, we've got a very clean, simplified user experience. I'm going to go through and walk through some of the key features on how you can actually get started with Digifox. So the first thing you're going to probably want to do as a new user on the platform, and a lot of people have been asking us personally, is how do you actually make that first deposit? How do you actually get started with Digifox as a platform? And the first thing is just hitting that add button on the right-hand side. And what this is going to do is actually prompt you onto a lot of different on-ramps, or basically ways to make and initiate deposits from either a previous existing debit card account, bank account, or a previous cryptocurrency account. So we give you 3 different ways to do this. There are different varying limits, different transfer times. Debit cards are going to be much quicker, but they're going to come with usually a higher cost in this case. Again, this is something that it's important to note that all these fees, we don't make any money off this. We work through certified and licensed third-party providers that actually help you connect to your bank and make the transfer. And we're working towards constantly reducing fees and increasing these limits. And starting hopefully tomorrow, if not this sometime this weekend or early on Monday, we're going to have it where you can actually deposit up to $5,000 in the United States from your debit card practically instantly. So it's going to be really nice here for a lot of users to get quick access to maybe cryptocurrencies or deposits. And outside of that, you have bank deposits and the ability to send money or ERC20 tokens from a variety of cryptocurrency exchanges. So if you have a Coinbase account or Binance account, you'd be able to store it there. Okay. So we'll go ahead and talk about some of the key features here. In the Digifox app, there's really 3 key features that you have at your disposal that are really valuable. The first one is obviously the one that many people are excited about, and that's the ability to earn high rates of interest. Now you can see in this demo account I've got here, I've got 2 different accounts open. I've got one open through Celsius and Compound, and these are 2 different deposit partners we have from within the Digifox wallet. So the key thing to think about with Digifox is, and maybe as an equivalency, is it's similar to, for example, LendingTree for getting like mortgage rates in this case, if you're taking a mortgage up for a house. What Digifox does is it brings all of these different opportunities where you can park your capital similar to how you would at a bank when you put deposits in there and you send payments or you save for the future, right? You can do that within Digifox through a variety of different deposit partners that we have. So right now, we currently have 2, as I mentioned. We have Celsius and Compound. Celsius pays out a little bit of a higher rate because it's basically more of a centralized platform. There is someone who's holding your funds similar to a bank. And outside of that as well, they're basically matching borrowers and lenders in this case and able to provide a much higher interest rate. Actually, in fact, about 100 times the average rate of a commercial bank in today's world in the United States. Average banks right now are paying 0.07%. So you have this huge opportunity to make a very nice yield here. And the reason why is because Celsius, unlike a traditional commercial bank, gives back 80% of its profits back to the community. And Compound is really interesting as well because, to put it simple, Compound is a smart contract in the Ethereum blockchain that allows you to earn interest in a trustless way. So no actual central parties holding your funds. It's actually in an autonomous, basically program on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's very fascinating here. You've got 2 different ways to go about it. If you want something more centralized, you have something like Celsius where you have a wide variety of different cryptocurrencies you can lend out, as well as stable coins like USDC, which we use by default on the app. You also have Compound, which has a wider range of cryptos, but usually generally able to balance the books between borrowers and lenders. So again, as you can see here, that I currently have 2 sections here on the wallet tab. And I really want to spend some time to talk about this because this plays a large role in seeing not only all of your holdings, but also your savings accounts in this case, basically your accounts through Celsius or Compound. So you can see in the top bar up here where it says my total balance at the top part of the screen, I have $232.90. And you can also see that down here, I've got some quick action items that we'll dive into in a bit. But we can also see if I click here on the right-hand side, I can see my active savings accounts. And I can see the current APR that's earning, as these rates are variable over time, similar to traditional savings accounts. And you can see the current rates and the amount that I have deposited in each account. I can also dive in here, see my Celsius account. I deposit and withdraw by clicking one of the action items here on the screen. And I can also see the interest earned in the middle right part of the screen. Now, again, a key thing to note about this is that we do have currently a bug we're working to fix right now, which shows the actual interest that you earn. This is something that should be resolved by Monday, but I've been having this deposited in here, and so far I've earned a little over $1.50 just by having to send for about a week or 2 weeks or so. So it's pretty exciting, much more than you probably earn in a traditional savings account with thousands of dollars, right? So again, you can come back here, you can initiate a further deposit. It's important to note with Celsius as well, when you make your first deposit, you're gonna probably have to do KYC. And a lot of you might be wondering what KYC is. KYC is Know Your Customer. So this is the ability for Celsius as a company to follow legal regulations and standards to identify you as you, right? So they're gonna require a driver's license in the United States. They're gonna probably require your SSN or social security number. This is standard for any type of platform that's managing deposits or providing financial services. So again, Digifox really isn't, at the end of the day, we're not collecting this. It's basically being passed over to our providers. And again, it's all at the consent, consent of the user. Now, outside of it as well, we also have the ability to buy and purchase cryptocurrencies. So if you go over here to the swap button here, which is on the wallet tab, we can take our USDC that we have here that could either have come from a previous exchange account or from your bank or debit card. And now we can select from a wide range of cryptocurrencies. So we've got a whole list of different cryptos here that you can basically purchase straight from within the Digifox wallet. And the great thing is, for those of you out there who are really into decentralized finance or crypto, is that all of this is being processed through decentralized exchanges, such as Kyber Network and Uniswap. Again, a lot of key tokens that we have here are some of the ones that people have been really asking about. Ampleforth, AMPL is one of them. BAL or Balancer token has been one that a lot of people have been looking for. Band Protocol. We've got lots of different cryptos, Comp token, and also DMG, which is one of our recent listings here through the Digifox wallet. So you have all kinds of different cryptos. You can buy a lot of the major ones like Ethereum, you can buy Chainlink, Kyber Network token, all kinds of different plays here in the market. And it's cool, it provides instant access to a lot of people. So let's just go ahead actually and just take a look at what a trade is like here. So let's say, for example, I wanted to buy some Band Protocol, or actually I'm going to actually buy some BAT here. BAT's one of my favorite long-term tokens. So I've selected BAT here. I'm just going to go up here to the top right-hand side and type a dollar amount that I want to buy. So if I type in, for example, 20 bucks, right here, make sure I get the decimal in there, perfect, hit done. And basically I can click continue. And then from there, I can actually go through and place my trade. It's basically going to go right now and see what kind of fees I'm going to have to pay. So we charge a 0.49% fee. It's 1/3 of the fees that Coinbase charges. And outside of that as well, we have a network fee. This is not money that Digifox is making. This is being able to process the transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. So what's cool is that all this is finalized on chain, on Ethereum. And you don't have to trust that Digifox is doing any of this, right? You're basically managing your own funds. You are your own bank and you're placing this trade. So if I want to go ahead, I'll click buy now. And I'm going to go ahead and place the trade here. So you can see in the top banner of the app here that we have the coins currently being processed right now. So our trade is currently going through. It'll take a couple of seconds, but again, it's pretty much instant in a sense here. Within less than a minute, you'll basically be able to get access to any altcoins you want, and your USDC in this case will be exchanged for the altcoin of choice. Going back here, I wanted to actually showcase a little bit of the process of initiating a deposit. Seeing as I have some USDC, I just want to go ahead and show what it's like. It's very simple. It's just like swaps. You can see the format is very similar here. So for example, if I'm submitting some of my USDC here for my, my BAT transaction that I'm doing over there in my BAT trade. So let's just say, for example, I want to deposit $5 of Celsius, right? All I have to simply do is type that dollar amount and click lend USDC. It's as simple as that, right? Now I've already got my money, a decent amount of my money deposited in Celsius, so I'm just going to go ahead and opt out from clicking it. But again, it's as simple as that. And just like with the trade through our decentralized exchanges, you're able to basically deposit capital straight into Celsius or Compound. Now, the last and third feature here is the ability to really send payments. So like any standard crypto wallet, you want to be able to send your funds back and forth to other people. But the key thing that a lot of wallets struggle with, and this is again another thing that we've considered with the app in order to make it simple for everyday users, is simply the ability for an end user to be able to send or receive without having to have Ethereum. So we want Digifox to be used like a payments app, right? So this isn't just a crypto wallet, right? You have your QR code, you can copy your address, think of it similar to like a bank account number. But outside of that as well, you're able to send money without having to actually pay in the form of Ethereum. So you can actually use USDC, so basically paying a dollar fee in a sense, or you can pay in a cryptocurrency of choice. We give a lot of flexibility to the end user. So I've got my good friend Tim here that if I click on his profile, I have him saved as a contact. I can just basically type in a specific amount. So let's say I want to send him $15. View send. And it's going to show me the network fee here, in this case, to send the transaction. And I just have to basically click send now, and I can send him that crypto just like that. So again, all these features are meant to be extremely streamlined within the app. And we're working towards constantly making it clearer and a little bit more simpler to use. One of them is the receive tab here. I know a lot of people have been asking about what cryptos you can store in your Digifox wallet. And it's a great question. We're going to have a whole wider range of cryptos that you can store if you want to deposit and utilize Celsius. It's going to open up the door to Bitcoin and Litecoin and a whole range of cryptos very soon. However, outside of that, and actually I just got a notification from my trade probably going through there, which we'll take a look at in just a second. The key thing to note here with your QR code that you have here or your blockchain address, as you can see, I have 0xDACE4255BA. That's the kind of first initial 6 letters and numbers, and then the following 6 letters and numbers for my address, just to validate that I've sent the right address to someone. I can store Ethereum, USDC, or any other ERC20 tokens. And in our help docs section, which I'll actually go ahead and display here real quick, you can see I've got my BAT trade there in my wallet. So the trade went through successfully. And I'm now owning a few BAT tokens alongside my USDC. Helpful documentation. This is something that I wanted to see directly in a lot of crypto wallets out there, and there really just wasn't many out there that did this. So we utilize Intercom. Intercom is a great application that allows you to basically get access to a lot of valuable articles here. So we have a welcome article here, how to deposit from your bank, how to earn interest, how to buy cryptocurrencies, how to send money to friends, and also some detailed articles, talking about what is USDC, what are these digital stable coins, and how do they differ from a traditional dollar. And you can contact a wide range of people from our team, not only our lead engineers such as Chase, as well as our head of operations, Hope, as you can see on the left-hand side, but also people like Micah, Samantha, and people like myself. I'm a big believer that the CEO, as well as the majority of the team, need to be doing customer support tickets and hearing from you all, not only in the sense of feedback, but also knowing what problems you guys are running into. And again, we're constantly looking to build an application for you guys. So if you have any kind of feedback, feel free to always. This is something that I think is really interesting. As a YouTuber, I really tried to think about a system that would benefit the end user, because we're not really about making money at Digifox. We want to build a community. We want to build an application that actually empowers a lot of people when it comes to crypto and finance. And for the referral system that we have, we basically not only give back 50% of the profits that we make on any given kind of activities. So whether it's trading, whether it's deposits in the platform where we charge fees, or transaction fees. Basically 50% of any profit we make from any of those activities goes back to the referrer, in this case, for people you refer to the platform. We also give you lower trading and deposit fees in the platform. You get free transactions, all kinds of different benefits that, again, reward you for sharing the platform with people. The rewards for this are going to be going live in probably late July or early August, but you can already start referring people with your invite link. And it's as simple as either clicking on invite contacts, where you can give access to your contacts, right? Or you can go to share link here, and you can basically share your link on a variety of different applications. It's been an exciting time as a recent, but as we have a lot of you out here on the call, and I know we've got some comments here in the chat, as well as some points here in the Q&A, I want to go ahead and start to answer a few of these. So let me go ahead and pull this up here. Hope, did you see any ones that you thought were really good?
So a lot of people have been asking about, I think a lot of people ask about security and want to make sure that that it's encrypted, and how safe is it compared to hardware and like mobile wallets?
Yeah, I think this is a really good question. So again, I think security is a very it's a very opinionated perspective for a lot of people. In regards to Digifox, we see ourselves as one of the most secure solutions in the market, especially for a software wallet. The reason why is because everything that's done in your account is localized. It's on your device. So Digifox is not a custodial platform. Now, if you decide to deposit onto Celsius or Compound, in the sense of Compound, you're trusting that the smart contract is safe. In the case of Celsius, you're trusting that Celsius is going to keep your funds safe. They use a specialized industry-grade custodial solution. But for the core Digifox wallet, when I'm, for example, the BAT or the USDC that I was holding in my wallet that you all saw earlier, that's basically held through a pair of keys. In this case, they're stored locally on your device. And you're able to basically re-access your account on another device or recover your account, not through a seed phrase, but through your phone and your email. And the way that we do this is it's basically a two-token system. It's a very fancy term for two ways of verifying that you are who you are to your wallet. And the way that it differs from a traditional wallet is that every time you generate a Digifox account, you're generating a smart contract in the Ethereum blockchain. This smart contract is where your funds are actually held. And the way that you interact with it, again, is through verifying through your phone, through your email, that you actually own those funds. So again, Digifox has no direct control over this. We never see your keys. We don't have access to your crypto. And at the end of the day, what we're basically doing is providing a very simplified way where you don't have to deal with a 12 to 24 word seed phrase that a lot of people get kind of bogged down by. Now, there's a lot of people out there who say, you know, Nick, we love the Digifox interface, but we want the seed phrase, right? I don't mind writing that 12 to 24 words, or I want to be able to integrate with my hardware wallet. We hear you guys on that. We're working hopefully this summer to have support for both of those. We would love if people want to use their Trezor or their Ledger and use Digifox as the interface, similar to wallets like Exodus, for example. You know, big fan of that wallet and the team there. I've worked with them and talked to them in the past. Outside of that as well, being able to just have a standard seed phrase in that case, right? 12 to 24 words, or be able to get your public and private key pair. We're working towards doing that. But this is something that is built for the everyday user in this case, but also provides a high level of security. And there's a few other wallets on the market that are utilizing this technology as well that you can check out as well. All right, let's see here. I'll go ahead and start diving into some of the Q&A here. Pavel asked, how are you making money? I think I noticed the interest rate on savings accounts are higher on the Celsius Compound platform than in the app. I would appreciate if you stated your cuts up front in the app. So Pavel, we actually don't, have lower rates. That's one thing I don't like about a lot of traditional banks or financial companies. A lot of them will usually have some kind of spread that they don't mention. We mention the rates that you see on here, the exact rates you see on Celsius or Compound, hands down. It's a core protocols. However, the key difference is that we do have fees on the platform because we're an aggregator of the platform, providing the best rates on the market, providing simplified access to things like, not only just Compound and Celsius, but also Kyber Network and Uniswap for our decentralized exchanges. We do charge fees. We have to basically make a profit in that case as a business. We have to be able to funnel funds basically in order to provide a lot of the free services that we're going to offer. We're going to offer free tax software. So all your taxes on the platform, all your tax related activities will be conducted at the end of the year for the 2021 tax season. And that's provided free to the platform. Outside of that as well, we're going to have budgeting tools, all kinds of stuff, and also to provide the customer support that we provide on the platform. So again, that's why we generate revenue and why there's a slight fee. Chris had asked a question. Hey, Nick, what's the comparative risk to leaving large deposits within the savings section of the app compared to leaving money at a bank? Are there any guarantees against platform hacks, for instance, a Celsius collapsing for some reason? So Chris, this is a good point here. With the crypto, like these kind of crypto neo banks or these new banking platforms like Celsius, there are some inherent risks, just like with a traditional bank, right? You have the bail-ins in Cyprus and stuff where banks walk away with people's money, or heck, they don't really pay much at all when you have your deposits in there and you tether away to inflation, right? So there's all kinds of different risks in the world. But in the sense of Celsius and Compound, I would say that for a smart contract, the way that a lot of people determine the security of a smart contract like Compound is the more deposits you have and the longer it's been around, the more secure and audited it is, because there's more and more incentive for someone to breach the contract if they know about some way to breach it. And in the sense of Celsius, the key thing I do always like to mention about Celsius, to be completely transparent with you all, is Celsius right now does not have an insurance policy. They're working on it right now. It's probably one of the biggest things they're working on. But we also are going to have new deposit partners here in the next coming months that are FDIC insured. So just like a traditional commercial bank, you have the same protection you would have in a traditional bank. So we're working on getting that soon. And if you're interested in that and you already have the wallet downloaded, ping our customer support team and we'll let you know first thing when that drops. So again, I think, Chris, I have my money deposited on Celsius. All of my family and myself use it, as well as many people at the company. We're big fans of the team, and it's why we integrated them into the platform. But again, we're constantly working to increase security and also provide more metrics on security as time progresses. Greg asked, looks great, a question, is the interest earned reported on 1099 So this is a good question, Greg. I'll be honest, I'm not the tax expert in this case, but generally speaking, any kind of tax forms that you would need for interest income, no worries, you'll get it generated through Digifox. This is the really cool thing, everyone. We're basically building an all-in-one finance platform. And if you use Digifox as your platform, eventually you'll be able to receive your income from your job in Digifox. You'll be able to spend with the Visa debit card that we have coming up soon, hopefully this summer, if not in the early fall. You'll have your trading activities, your, all kinds of different things, payments, spending activities. You'll have all of these activities. If you use all of these features within Digifox and you don't have any activities outside of the app, Digifox can be your platform for taxes as well, with our integrated partner that's going to generate tax forms for all of your taxable activities. And through one simple click, you'll get your tax forms generated. So no need for TurboTax, no need for getting an accountant or doing all this complex stuff. You can have all that generated for you at the end of the year, ready to be shipped off to the IRS or tax authority. We want to make paying taxes as simple as possible. It's a huge burden. I don't like it personally. Just keeping up with it is a hassle, but it's important. And being able to do it properly with crypto and how complex it is, I think is a huge feature we're going to have. Wade said, Nick, can Digifox take the place of Coinbase? Yeah, I would definitely say, oh, yeah, sorry, yes, sir?
And also, like, a couple of people have also asked, like, how do I get my funds from Coinbase to Digifox? So kind of like all in one.
Yeah,
those.
Yeah, I think it's a good point, Hope. Yeah, so to build on that and to Wade's question and stuff, first off, yes, it can serve absolutely as a replacement for Coinbase. I love Coinbase in a lot of respects. The problem with the company, I think, is that they've kind of focused too much on just being an exchange. We want to be a multi-purpose finance platform and be utilized by a lot of people. So for those of you who are interested to get your funds off of Coinbase, bear in mind, again, whether you have Ethereum, USDC, a wide range of ERC20 tokens. And again, you can check our docs to see what tokens are available. You just basically have to copy the address that's on your receive tab. And I'll go ahead and I'll share my screen on my phone again, just to remind you guys where it is and kind of walk through as I explain it. Go ahead here. I'll start the Zoom broadcast on my phone. All righty. Let's see here. The key thing here is you want to copy your receive address. And it's always important, just like you would do with a bank account number, to make sure that the first few letters and digits and the last few letters and digits are proper when you enter it into Coinbase. Just basically copy this, and you'll see that it's copied here. You can send it over a message app or into your Coinbase app and basically transfer your crypto there. It's important to note this is an Ethereum address, so you can't deposit Bitcoin. If you ever are cautious about what crypto you can send over to the app, don't worry. You guys can reach out to us. We're here 24/7 and stuff, and we'll help you through in making sure that everything works properly. But eventually you have a Bitcoin deposit address as well in the future, as well as Litecoin and a few other cryptos. But we're working on that at the moment. So for the moment, it's just ERC20 tokens and Ethereum. So I think it was a great point, Hope. I appreciate you bringing that up. And yeah, if any of you want to make that transition to Coinbase and you're a bit nervous about making that first step, like I said, ping us on customer support. We'll be there for you. All right. Wade also asked another question. What determines the interest rates inside Celsius or Compound? So this is a bit of a complex question, Wade. A simplified answer is supply and demand. And in supply and demand, that's referring to the borrowers and lenders. So in the case of Celsius, they're a centralized company, and they're basically a matchmaker, just like traditional banks. Banks provide a way for you to secure your deposits. And they used to pay interest. They don't pay much interest anymore. But they also, on the other side, take your deposits, and they're not just sitting there in the vault, they're actually lending it out to people. So it's a matchmaking process. The same thing goes for Celsius. Celsius is usually lending out USDC and other stable coins to exchanges or margin traders who put up a higher level of collateral in order to borrow. And depending on the demand of borrowers and lenders or depositors, that's what determines the rate in that case. So if a lot of users on the Digifox platform are depositing into Celsius, they look to find other borrowers who want to borrow on the other end to maintain those high interest rates. In the sense of Compound is a little bit less controlled in that case because it's all autonomous through a smart contract. So if there's a massive inflow of new deposits, the borrowing rates can go down quite dramatically, and the earning interest can go down quite dramatically as well. But again, these rates are fluctuating over time, and they're factoring in supply and demand on both the deposit side and on the borrower side. So hopefully that answers it pretty well. I'm happy to provide extra details on that. As someone who is anonymous said, I love the simplicity of using a combination of email and phone number as an access to a smart contract wallet. Is it possible to access funds outside of Digifox? Will it be possible to access private keys at some point? Well, Anonymous, I think we'd actually talked about this. I just want to say thank you for the kind comment. But yes, in the sense of being able to access private keys outside of like a traditional wallet, again, we'll be able to plug in multiple accounts similar to a lot of other kind of interfaces for DeFi that are out there on the market. Again, we want to make it where you can generate a new public-private key pair, or you can plug in a previous one. All of that will hopefully be accessible here in the next coming weeks or the next month or so. But yeah, we just wanted to focus on building something as simple as possible for the end user. But great question. I appreciate it. And this is also another question from an anonymous attendee asking, can you deposit from a UK bank account? Yes, you can. So we have an on-ramp. Basically, what will happen is the Digifox app in this case has on-ramps for over, I think, around 25 countries. And we're about to expand for our debit card on-ramp to about 150 or 160 when we do that push out on this Friday or somewhere around Monday. And yeah, you can make UK bank deposits. And the fees are actually quite small. It's only 0.5% to make those deposits. Again, we're not making money on that. It's our on-ramp provider. We're looking to hopefully cover that in the future as we can get rates down. Lucas asked, hi, Nick, can you talk a bit about the WeFunder campaign? What's your vision for early investors to participate in the Digifox success? Lucas, I think this is a great question. It's a big reason why I'm a big fan of crowdfunders. So we decided to do a crowdfund, not just because, you know, we can't raise from VC or angels, but we really wanted to do it from the community. I've been a big fan of this for a long time. I think what's so much better than going out to a few kind of accredited venture capitalists who are going to give you a paycheck and are going to, you know, screw over your company the first second they can, you know, in order to squeeze profit out of you. It's much better to go towards a community of investors. We have over 400, I think last I checked, around 450 investors on the WeFunder platform who have helped us raise close to around, like, I think 360,000. So it's been phenomenal so far. We've had a lot of outpouring success. And I think it's much better to have those 400 to 500 investors, hopefully more, going out there and spreading the word. Because when you have a stake in the company, I mean, obviously you want to go out there and talk about it. You want to share it with friends. You want to show what's going on with the app. I think the best thing, any of you guys who are listening today, if you really find that you like the Digifox wallet, I want you all to, you know, try it out first, feel if it's for you. And if you like it and you stand by it and it's been helping you with your personal finances, share it with family and friends. The referral system is really rewarding to the end user. And we're going to be doing all kinds of giveaways and contests that kind of build on the referral system. If you can help your friends make that first deposit, things of that sort. So Lewis, please, if you can, just share the word in regards to getting people to try out the app. That's the biggest thing, I would say. And again, hopefully the referral system will be a good benefit for those who really like the wallet. Diffuser said, I already have an existing Celsius account. How do I import my existing account into the Digifox app? So Diffuser, this is a good question. We're working on this. Sadly, this is a limitation more on the side of Celsius. We've been talking with a lot of the dev team. They're a great group of people, but they're kind of stacked right now with their current workflow, the current developer resources that they have. They're looking to get this feature in Q3 or Q4 of 2020. So again, it is in their pipeline, and we'll let you all know as soon as it's available. But for the time being, if you like Digifox as an app, what's nice about Celsius is you can always withdraw into your Digifox wallet and redeploy it inside the Digifox wallet in a new Celsius account. There's no penalty to having a second one. Again, there's no withdrawal fees through Celsius, so it's not a penalty in that case at all to just basically make the swap. Just takes a little bit of time. And we'd be happy to help you through that process if you want to make that switch. Oliver asked, can I see the perks somewhere I got from my investment in Digifox? Yeah, Oliver, so you can see them on the WeFunder page. They mention like the perks there. We haven't integrated them yet. They're going to be coming in late July or early August. That's our general target time frame for it. But nonetheless, if you do make any deposits or trades right now and you pay the standard fees that you shouldn't have paid, let us know. When we'll notify all users about our WeFunder perks and our referral system going live. You can always ping us back and we'll make everything right. We'll send you the equivalent crypto back. So don't worry about it. We'll have that in there soon. Conrad, it says, is there a recovery phrase in case my phone dies? So Conrad, we don't have the recovery phrase, as I did mention earlier. I know you probably heard me mention it. But in regards to the recovery of like, if your phone dies, for example, what you do is basically get a new SIM card from your cellular provider, and they'll be able to get it with the same phone number in that case. So it's no worries there. You'll be able to recover it. But we will work towards having a backup seed phrase for those who are extra precautious in that case, like for people who want to have a way again to not have to rely on their cell phone or email. How much are the fees per transaction to send money? So Mohammed, that's a great question. If you're talking about a deposit from your bank, that does vary. It'll be usually anywhere from around, zero point 0.5. In some cases in India, it's actually as low as 0.25%, up to around 1% or around 0.5% in the UK. If you're just talking about sending payments to friends or family, right now the transaction fees are a little bit high. We're working on implementing a layer 2 scaling solution. It's fancy speak for something that's going to bring down fees a whole lot, down to probably around a cent if anything, practically nothing for transactions. So you'll be able to send money from one Digifox account to another Digifox account. Here, for example, I'm traveling right now. I could send money all the way over to Tokyo, Japan, or back to the East Coast of the United States where I live. And I can do it I'll be able to do it basically for a penny. Right now, the cost can fluctuate because users are having to pay the gas cost right now, but we don't make any money off of transactions on the app right now. So hopefully that provides some clarity. And you can see it right before you send the transaction. Ralph mentioned, and speaking about fees, he said the external fees seem to be a bit high. How can we know about those fees in advance before I consider a purchase? Ralph, you'll see it before you basically place any kind of deposit from the fiat on-ramp providers, or if you're talking about the services on the app, you'll see it before you hit the confirm button. All that's true, as well as slippage. So if you're a big trader and you're worried about getting a fair amount of the coins for your trade if they're not being enough liquidity, you'll also be able to see the slippage if there's any major slippage as well. Edward asked, I'm from Germany. Is there any difference in funding my account from Europe? Could you please tell me a bit more about the collaboration with Europe? So Edward, you're able to use Celsius, and you're along with that as well able to make a deposit. We cover the broader the broader Eurozone in this case for deposits. And I would say in the sense of what would be different for you is that, if anything, the key thing that a lot of people still have to grasp with Digifox and a lot of smart wallets is there is no stable or steady or well-developed euro stable coin. So your funds are being saved in terms of dollars. The good news is that when we have our debit card initiated, you'll be able to use Digifox as a replacement for your bank, where you can basically swipe your Visa debit card at any kind of participating retailer across. Right now we have coverage for the US. We're looking to do coverage in Europe. Basically, when we have that available later in the summer, you'll be able to go to a merchant, swipe your card, and it will deduct your balance into euros through the traditional Visa payment network. So it's really fascinating. And you can start to actually be your own bank in a sense, which I think is very cool. So hopefully that answers your question. No differences by being from Europe. All right, Brian White asked 2 questions here. I know we had a ticket from Brian White earlier. I hope you're doing well. The first question here is, I'm new to lending out my crypto. Digifox is the first app to make it easy enough to try. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, Brian. My question is, what are the risks of lending? Is there a way for, if the market goes south, how long do you expect the interest to stay in the 6 to 8% range? By lending at any point, is my coins or money at risk of being liquidated? Brian, it's a great question. No, in fact, I want to go ahead and answer these one step at a time. First off, thank you for the kind compliment. In the sense of risks to lending, the market going south, things of that sort, you basically as a depositor are in the safest position. Celsius and other lending providers or deposit partners provide the best system for depositors. If anything, borrowers are at risk because borrowers are putting up collateral in order to borrow a stablecoin loan in this case, or dollar loan. I've taken them out myself, and I know back in, for example, in March of 2020, there was a big sell-off in crypto markets, and my crypto collateral lost value and I needed to recollateralize. And luckily Celsius worked with me, they notified me, and I put more crypto in. But as a depositor, there's a reason those borrowers are having to put up collateral, because it's covering you in case, for example, they can't pay back the loan. So that collateral is there to cover you. And if it gets to a point where the collateral goes down too much in value to cover the loan, you actually basically, the Celsius will sell that crypto and will cover you. And luckily, there hasn't been any event so far in Celsius's history for the last 2 years. They haven't had an actual liquidation event in this case for its users. So it's really, really nice to see. And they basically, again, have constantly tried to make that as minimal as possible. And depositors have been securely been earning anywhere from that 6 to 9% ballpark range of interest since then. How long do I expect it to hold at that range? I think that's a good question. I think it's going to maintain there for the next year and a half. And I think eventually it's going to probably head down as we get more demand on the depositor side. I think it's going to go down more towards around 5%. It's going to probably hold there for a while. But who knows? Celsius has been able to hold it there for a while, and as well as other deposit providers out there, because there is a decent amount of demand on the borrowing side. And a lot of it comes from exchanges who need it for cash flow and operations, as well as people who are taking excessive risk on certain crypto positions. But again, they're always having to put up more collateral for what they're borrowing. The second question was, and also just to clarify, there's no chance of you being liquidated in that case. Second question here is, how do you protect your funds better? It seems that anyone with access to your phone number and email will be able to restore a wallet pretty quickly and steal your funds. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit difficult, Brian, to do that for someone to be able to get access to your phone and your email. It's why we use, most apps use two-factor authentication. The same security risks apply there with using Coinbase or another crypto wallet. The best thing you can do is use biometric data. So use fingerprints, use Face ID. I recommend Face ID as like one of the most secure things if you're on iOS. On Android as well, I'm pretty sure it's highly secure. Outside of this, well, we're going to have multi-factor authentication. So this has been something that I've been a big fan of, and there's not many crypto platforms that have it, where you have a third form of verification. So even if I got access to your phone and I got access to your email, right, I still wouldn't be able to get access to your funds. That's the key thing we're looking for. So that's something we'll have in the future, and it'll be an additional setting you can set in the profile tab that you saw me go on earlier when I was looking at customer support and the referral management system. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit, just for future concerns of security. All right, Manuel asked, why should one use Digifox instead of using Celsius directly? This is a really good question, Manuel. So again, I don't want to speak bad on Celsius. I'm not only a very big fan of Celsius as a project and the founder, Alex Majinski. They're a great group of people. If all you wanted to do was deposit crypto and you like the Celsius interface just fine, have at it, guys. You can go use Celsius. I think that they're a great platform. It's the reason we integrated them. In the sense of wanting to do more than just earn a deposit on your crypto or earn interest on your deposits, I think that's, Digifox is going to be that app, because we have the ability to make swaps. We have the ability to make transactions in the application similar to Celsius. And we're also going to have tax documentation for you. We have a bit wider network of fiat on-ramps than Celsius does. They only cover the US and the EU right now. Outside of that as well, we're going to have our budgeting tools. And we've got a whole set of things coming on our roadmap here in the next coming months. So again, I think that Celsius is a great company, but we do have slightly different directions and the ways about utilizing our different wallets. So hopefully that'll answer your question, Manuel. But again, nothing negative to say about them. They're a great company. Alex is a good guy. Adam Bender, is there a plan to have more earning options on Celsius Network and compound more tokens, or will there be other options beyond those two companies' turn? Yes and yes, Adam, to both of those questions. So we will not only have more options, more ERC20 tokens, more cryptos like Bitcoin and Litecoin to be able to deposit. But outside of that as well, we are going to have more deposit partners. Again, one of them, I think our next one, we're hoping is going to be the FDIC insured one. So for those who might be willing to take a little bit lower rate, it's around 6%, and they'll be able to still have FDIC insurance, then definitely we want to offer that on the platform. So that'll be coming very soon, Adam. We're looking to get that. It's one of our key priority deposit partners that we're looking to get in there. So hopefully that answers your question, dude. RC, hi, Nicholas. In the future, will there be a Digifox token? If so, when is this planned? So I've had a lot of people ask this, RC. I can't commit to anything right now. I'm a big believer in the idea that if I'm going to create a token, if we're going to create a token for the platform, we want to make sure it's valuable for the end user and that it makes sense. And that we, above all, I hate to say this, the key thing we have to worry about is regulation and making sure we follow the rules by the books, plain and simple. When you're issuing a token like that, it has to clearly be a utility token. And above all, again, I don't want to just create something for the sense of creating something, of artificial value in the market. I want to build something that people actually utilize, whether it's reducing fees, accessing certain services on the app. I want it to be a complement to the platform, not a nuisance for the user, right? So we're gonna think on it over the next, probably coming months, the next few years, and we'll see. We might definitely explore it, but right now, no serious comment on it, no commitments. We don't have any plans in our roadmap at the moment. It's something we've always kept open to. Thank you, though, for the question, though. I think it's an interesting topic. I mean, we've seen the success of Binance Token. We've seen the success of a lot of other kind of platform tokens that have done very well. All right, we also have Frank here. Hi, quick question from Europe. I'm currently in Denmark, which doesn't leave me with any options other than crypto deposit. Any timeline for when debit bank deposits will be available? I'm sorry, Frank. I didn't know that Denmark isn't covered in that case. I'm curious. I think you'll be able to utilize, you'll be able to make deposits from your debit card here in the next coming days as we integrate our new fiat on-ramp for debit cards. But I'm also quite certain as well, you should be able to make bank deposits. I might be wrong on that. If it says that it doesn't allow you on the device, then that's probably the case. So I apologize if that is. But one thing I would say, Frank, is that I know that if you're using Digifox for deposits, it might be that it's already quite limited. If there are other exchanges that you have access to, I know there's Bitpanda, there's I use Coinbase and stuff as one of my other platforms. There's Binance. There's a lot of different platforms that provide that initial fiat on-ramp. You can always buy your crypto on there or initiate your fiat deposit into a stablecoin and then move it over to your Digifox wallet. And again, we can help you through that process if you want. But we're working constantly to expand our fiat on-ramps. That's a temporary solution, and it's not an optimal one for you to have to go to another platform. So we're constantly working to get as much coverage as possible. So I apologize for the inconvenience on that, but I hope we can get you on here as soon as possible, one way or another. Let's see here. Oliver, what are the added benefits of Digifox for a tech-savvy crypto user who likes to control his own keys? So, Oliver, I would say in the sense of, the added tech benefits or kind of utility benefits is that you can plug into basically all of the massive CFI or centralized finance and decentralized finance applications, just like that. It's very simple. There is no having to use MetaMask. There's not having to go to a certain website or use web browsers. It's all native within the design of the app. So I would say that in that case, it's very streamlined. In the sense of someone who wants to own their own keys, as I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to have your own keys very soon. That's not something currently out. I mean, again, you do control your own keys, but what I mean is that in the sense of having like a seed phrase or having, like a password you would have with MetaMask and stuff to access your keys. It's not like that. It's a little bit different. So we'll have that eventually soon here, Oliver, if that's something that interests you. Al asked, is Digifox not available for folks for NYS? I'm assuming that's New York State. And Al, yes, sadly, we do not have deposit on ramps for users in New York. This is just sadly due to legal limitations right now. It's through our providers. They can't provide it in the region. So we're working extensively to find partners who can make those deposits happen. New York's always just been a very complex state. But to my knowledge, and again, don't quote me on this. I have to continue to learn about the current environment. I don't think there's any problem with you having your Digifox wallet and storing your crypto on there. Again, I don't want you to quote me on that. I have to check on that, but I just know that we can't provide deposit on ramps, and also Celsius isn't available right now in New York. We're working with them on that. They actually are going to be able to provide those deposit services. It's just not available at the moment, but we'll notify our New York users on the app when that comes out. All right. Adam asked, when the debit card is launched, will it work like crypto.com's card where you have a separate wallet to use your card, almost like a prepaid card instead of a traditional debit card? Also, will you have USD to use Also, will you have USD to use the card, or can you have your crypto automatically change to USD to spend your money? So that's a good question, Adam. So similar to crypto.com, yes, you'll have basically what we'll call your debit card or your checking account. And this is one that has dual custodianship. It's very important. Just like with crypto.com, they need to have shared custodialship of between our provider and you as a user. And this allows you to basically top up your account, put some money in there, and you can spend it just like you would with a normal checking account at a normal bank. But in the sense of having to stake tokens like you do on crypto.com, you will not have to do that. There's no staking of tokens. It is not a credit card. It's more of a debit card in this case. It's a card you use to spend basically your crypto or your stable coins like you would at your bank with dollars. And in the sense of converting to dollars, there's no need for you to do that. The way that it works is that our provider basically withdraws the equivalent USDC or Ethereum or whatever crypto you've put up to be used in your debit card account. And they basically pay on the traditional Visa payment rail. And they're basically withdrawing the equivalent crypto there for whatever transaction you're making. So hopefully that makes sense. It's very simple, but I think it's a very awesome system. That's at least my understanding of how it works on the background. But we're exploring if, how it's basically going to all work and stuff as we're getting it integrated. But I'm very excited to get it on there and available for users. Kenneth asked, any plans around ETH 2.0 staking? Yes, Kenneth, we hope to make it so any user holding ETH in this case, especially the the specific number that you need for staking. In that case, being able to do it directly from the Digifox wallet, and staking in general is something we're looking to do overall this summer. We're hoping to offer that as a service. Not us directly, but we'll have a provider who does it. Roy asked, any plans to offer a crypto debit card, Nick? So I guess we talked about this, Roy. You probably heard about it now. Yes, we do have the Digifox debit card, and you can let us know in the support chat if you want to be notified when it drops. Lucas asked, when does the WeFunder round close? WeFunder round closes. Actually, it's the limit is the maximum you can run it for is 3 months. So it would be sometime in mid-September, because we start off in June. July, sorry, it's basically going up to July, August, and September. That'll be 3 months. So we're going to try to run it for as long as we can. And what's nice is that as we're starting to get more and more kind of data coming out, the valuation starts to make a lot more sense to investors and stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to close up. My target is hopefully around 500 to 600,000 on the total raise. We're getting a good amount of people coming in after some of our updates, but we'll see what happens, right? Who knows really what comes up of it over the next couple of weeks. Daniel asked, hi, Digifox team. You mentioned Bitcoin. Any time frame update for when Bitcoin deposits will become available? So Daniel, this is a good question, and it depends what you mean. So if you mean Bitcoin deposits and a deposit partner like Celsius, that will be available very soon. We're looking to get that possibly in by as early as next week, as we offer more deposit options on the Celsius platform. Outside of that as well, though, there's also going to be the ability for you to store Bitcoin and own your own keys, just like a traditional crypto wallet. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be coming in probably in later July, if not early August. But we're working on that right now to give people the ability to be autonomous, or in that case, to earn interest and conveniently be able to just instantly deposit it through Celsius without having to deal with keys, right? It would be a big hassle for a lot of people. But again, something depends on your personal preferences. All right, we got another anonymous question. What determines what coins you will add to the platform? I was hoping ADA would be on here. So anonymous, it's a good question. The reason we have ADA, we don't offer provide for ADA and stuff. It's not that we don't like Cardano as a project. It's because it's not an ERC20 token anymore. ADA is basically, it's on its own network, and because of that, we can't store it in your Digifox wallet address. We will eventually make it so you can have a multi-coin address, and this is going to be where you store, your ADA, your Litecoin, your Bitcoin, all the kind of cryptos you could think of. And this will basically allow you to store a wide range of cryptocurrencies. Again, you'll have to own those keys and keep track of your keys if you want to, or we're possibly working with a custodial provider. We want to make sure we provide a proper one, but most importantly above all, if there is going to be custody, we want to make sure hopefully there's opportunities to earn interest on your crypto. So again, if that's of interest to the end user. So we're working on that as well. Mark asked, can we connect cold storage, and are New Zealand bank accounts debit cards available yet? So Mark, I would, if you have the app, I would check. I don't know off the top of my head. I know that we'll have New Zealand coverage for debit cards when we have our new update by Friday or Monday. In the sense of connecting cold storage, that's again something we're looking forward to, as I hinted a little bit earlier. So I would go ahead and check and see. If you click on trying to initiate a bank deposit and clicking the add button on the Digifox wallet, then you can see if New Zealand is covered. Wade asked, if Celsius and Compound don't have crypto that I have through Coinbase, have a crypto that I have through Coinbase, I can still send that crypto to Digifox wallet. I just won't get interest. Wade, that's partially true. It depends if it's an ERC20 token. So if it's Ethereum, USDC, Basic Attention Token, Chainlink, Kyber Network, I'm trying to think of the other popular ones that are ERC20 tokens. The vast majority of cryptos you can store in your Digifox wallet. Again, make sure to check with us, and we'd be happy to let you know. And we'll send you the article as well that lists out a wide range of the major cryptos that we cover right now. And we'll have more over time as well that you can store in your Digifox wallet. But yes, it doesn't pay out interest just sitting in your Digifox wallet. Helen asked, is it viable to just buy a small amount on occasions as a savings method? For example, $10 similar to the Cash App. Would it be viable in the UK? So Helen, right now, you could, I think theoretically through the debit card feature, you can basically choose, I think there's going to be a slight transaction fee. It's only a couple of cents, but you should be able to deposit like $10 recurringly on a daily basis. We don't have that automated yet. We're working towards refining the whole user experience and automating a lot of processes. And that's one of them. We want to make it very simple to just do things automatically. Like if you, for example, want to automate, like you have USDC in your Digifox wallet and you want to recurringly buy a little bit of crypto or put some into Celsius, we're working on that. That's one thing we're looking to do. So I think you'll really like that when that comes out. And we'll have it hopefully as well where you can do automatic bank transfers. That would be really nice. What are the benefits for participating in the crowdfunding? Mohammed, there's not only perks that you can find on the right-hand side of the website in the investor terms, but you're getting basically a safe note. Now, to put this in very simple speak for those of you who are interested in investing or who have already invested, a safe note is a form of convertible equity. That's a very fancy way for saying that when we go to our next funding round, our Series A, as most people refer to it as, those safe notes get converted into actionable equity and stock in the company. The only difference that your shares will have from maybe traditional venture capitalists is that the voting rights are given to our lead investor, and that's John Devidas. So he's one of our advisors. He's one of my closest friends in the space. He's a fantastic role model for me. He helps me take Digifox from a concept to a functioning company. And yeah, he basically helps to vote on behalf of the community when it comes to making corporate decisions. But that's the only kind of distinct thing there. You actually have equity in the company if we go into our Series A. So David asked, hi, Nick, how many Digifox wallets are we up to so far? Oh, man, I've been actually meaning to check the number, David. I think we're around, I think we had a good jump up in registrations that I think we're at 5,250. I think that's around the range we're at right now. No promises on that. If not, it's probably around 5,200. But we got a big bump up today as a lot of people have been excited for some of our new token opportunities, DMG, Comp token. We also have a Balancer token, Band protocol, a lot of interesting DeFi plays that are on there. So yeah, it's growing like crazy. We're really happy. And we're about to really release our marketing guns here in the next few weeks. We've got a few key things we're looking forward to releasing. Pavel asked, I'm hearing a lot about amazing planned features. Is there a public feature planned timeline somewhere? So Paul, we're thinking about working on this so people can get a general idea. We're trying to find a way where we can make it where the community really determines this roadmap. We don't want it to just be us. We want the community to have a direct line of communication outside of just customer support. So we'll have more on this soon. This is something that I think is very important, not only for just transparency, but also as well, just letting people know, what we're bringing. And this is why we're bringing it, because people have requested it, right? So that's coming hopefully down soon. We still got 10 more questions, guys. I'll just go ahead and keep reading through these. We're not really fixed on a time limit. If you want to stay here, I'll just go ahead and read through the rest of these. Brian asked, can you add a filter sort option for the swap coins to sort them by gain and loss? Brian, is a great question. We are working on this right now. Again, we have a lot of small UX things that we're working on, or user experience bugs or kind of fixes we want to add to the app. And one of the biggest things we want to do is similar to, as you mentioned on CoinMarketCap, be able to sort by gain and loss. I think this is very important for a lot of traders who like to trade on volatility. I know I like to do it. So again, we'll have that very soon. And outside of that, we have Ronald, who asked a question. When can I start using the discounted rates for being an investor? Ronald, I spoke a little bit on this earlier. Basically, we're going to be having our WeFunder discounted rates. They're going to be active in sometime in late July or early August. And I would say, don't worry right now if you're worried about the higher fees. Basically, if you go through and making those deposits and you communicate with us once that goes live, we'll recompensate you for any fees that we charged over your WeFunder rate that you should have. So just to, again, clarify that and stuff, it's no worries. You'll get the proper amount of funds back in that case. So no need to have to wait until we have that activated in late July or early August. Stefan asked, any plans to include Hedera's HBAR to the wallet? Yeah, Hedera is one that we've been looking at. Again, it's like integrating any other protocol. It takes a bit of time, but we're looking to do that, Stefan. I think what we want to do is have it where we can integrate a lot of cryptos together, and Hedera is definitely one of the few that a lot of people have requested. Anonymous asked, will you be adding the Hex token for swaps? I think, Anonymous, that Hex is available. I haven't actually seen it in the list, but we'll look at it in that case, seeing if we can offer that. Ronald asked, how will the problem be solved regarding the difference between the swap that is projected and the definitive swap? There's a big difference. There were big differences that can't be accounted to slippage, in my opinion. Ronald, that is true. We're basically doing our best to make sure that slippage number is usually very accurate. We've been working on providing as much information as possible. We might even work on providing like a risk factor of like, for example, we might be able to like, because Uniswap and all these platforms are public, we might work on like a risk factor where like the slippage may be in a certain band, right? Like, or it might be at risk to be a little bit higher than what's projected. But yeah, I would say that if you're not trading volumes, for any given trade or purchase that you're making, if you're making a trade that's as small as $1,000, $2,000, slippage is usually not a concern. If you're doing maybe 10,000 on some altcoins, that will be a problem. For the large ones, like Ethereum or some of the larger, well-traded ones that have a lot of liquidity on Uniswap, you should be fine. But we're working our best to hopefully resolve that. I don't have a too clear of an answer on that because really the problem there is DEX liquidity or decentralized exchange liquidity. Al asked, is interest earned on a monthly basis? No, actually, Al, it's actually much more frequent. So on Celsius, you get paid out every Monday. So it makes and basically we always joke around, Celsius makes Mondays your new Fridays because, Monday's usually not a day you look forward to, but you get your interest paid on Monday, which is pretty nice. And in the sense of compound, you get your interest actually officially paid out when you withdraw, but you can track your interest earned from the Digifox wallet over time. And it's earned basically, from my understanding, by the minute or basically per block on the Ethereum blockchain. So hopefully that makes good sense. Let's see here. Oliver Gra asked, do you consider integrating DChat from Unstoppable Domains at some time in the future? I've not looked into DChat. I'll look into it, Oliver. We do want to have a chat feature built into the app. That's something we have on our roadmap, just for payments and just chatting with friends about the markets or whatever it may be. But yeah, we're definitely going to look to get that soon. Anonymous said, thanks, Nick. Keep building and listening. Great app. We'll tell friends about it after the display bugs get a little better. Yes, Anonymous, we do have a few things we're working on right now. Our two biggest issues that we've had, guys, and just for those of you who are here, again, I'm always trying to be as transparent and responsible as possible. We've had, two bugs and stuff where sometimes funds won't display properly, and we can basically do a fix on our end in the short term. We're looking to get a long-term solution. It's only a few users who get it. And then also sometimes transactions not going through, but we've resolved most of that issue, which is really nice. So as we did a trade earlier, it went through properly just as we intended. So again, we fixed like about 80 to 85% of the bugs, which is really exciting. And we're looking to make that 100% very, very soon. But as many of you know, you fix one bug, there's two new bugs. Alrighty. Let's see here. Which ERC20 token cannot be sent to Digifox, if any? Anonymous, any tokens can be sent. It's a standard Ethereum wallet. However, it might not display properly. So you might have to contact us if your token doesn't display. And just feel free to contact our customer support. It's not a hassle. We'll make sure we get it fixed for you so your token can display. But I would be careful about sending any kind of like niche tokens and stuff. We haven't really seen that yet on the app. Andreas asked, what was the reason for the repeated recoveries of Digifox experienced earlier on? How has this been ultimately resolved? So Andreas, I'm not 100% certain I know what you're talking about. If you're referring to like some users having to recover their wallets, I don't know. It might have been a few cases in this case that a few users might have ran into, probably on Android. We've been pushing some key updates there. But I've gone through a lot of the customer support tickets, I just haven't heard about that. So I'll talk to my team about that and see what was going on with that. But I think we've been working a lot of recoveries, on Android especially. On iOS, it's been pretty smooth for the most part. Lewis asked, are you planning to release the wallet as a white label product? Lewis, not exactly. We've considered it maybe for some of our services or our aggregation of services. We might do that, but we're planning to really be a whole platform that people can turn to in this case for everything, right? So our business model is really about bringing users to the platform and not really looking to white label too much unless it makes sense for us as a business. And if it means that that's the way we got to scale it out to, maybe provide our services in different interfaces for a variety of different users, would definitely be open to that. And, again, we're really, again, not so much about, it's not really about building a overtly profitable business. I think a lot of crypto has turned into that, which is a bit upsetting. We want to be an app that at the end of the day, if we can bring in 1 billion people into this new age of finance and give them a better way to earn interest, a way to get exposure to different types of, digital assets and investments, and be able to send payments, whether it be to a friend or family member right next to them or to family overseas. We want to be that platform, and we want to make every aspect of finance extremely simple, custom tailored to you. So we've got a lot of things we've got on the roadmap to hopefully meet to that vision. Anyways, as you all probably know, if you watch me on the YouTube channel, I tend to ramble a bit, and I definitely went on a little bit of a visionary rant there. But all in all, man, this has been a wonderful conversation, everyone. I appreciate you all attending and listening to me ramble and answer some key questions from all of you in the community. I will in the future make it. I know one thing that probably has been missing in this is me being able to turn on my webcam so you guys can actually see me. We'll work on getting that fixed for the next webinar if you want to join on Saturday and ask any more questions after further testing the application or getting your hands on the Digifox wallet. And we'll make it a little bit more personal and stuff and make it so you guys can see. But I want to just thank you all for joining. I want to also thank Hope as well for getting everything together. We had one more question here from Ronald. I just wanted to make sure I answered. Ronald asked, sorry if you already addressed this, but when will graphs for different coins in your portfolio be introduced? It's a good question, Ronald. So maybe metrics or being able to see a chart for your holdings. We're trying to work towards getting that in there, but it's going to be a secondary view for people because we want to make Digifox feels like a replacement for your bank. So when you have your savings or checking account, you don't really see a chart going up and down, right? To us, crypto is a secondary feature, it's an asset in that case that you look towards getting exposure to. So we want to focus around USDC and earning that interest, but we will have a chart feature and some hopefully a pie chart or something where you can see your balance of what you're exposed to. That will hopefully be coming out sometime later on in the fall. But yeah, it seems like we got pretty much all the questions answered here. We're about 5 minutes over time. I appreciate the patience, everyone. And Anonymous said, we do miss your face. Thanks for all the great information. Digifox sounds like a savior for everyday people. Oh man, I appreciate that. It's really nice to hear that. I appreciate it so much, guys. I mean, the feedback we've had is phenomenal, and I'm super excited to see not only where we can take this over the next few years, but also to share with you all what we've got in store for the next few weeks. A lot of big updates. I'm very big on not waiting for big quarterly or yearly updates. I'm big about getting things out as soon as possible, trying out new things, giving out new exciting features, and making Digifox the all-in-one finance platform that we all know it can be. So Al, thank you very much for the kind comments. Thank you all so much for the kind words and great questions. Hope I was able to answer any questions. And if you have any problems on the wallet as well as any questions, please reach out to us in the customer support. Doesn't cost anything. We'll get to you guys as soon as possible. But yeah, thank you, Hope, for getting this all set up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to answer questions and walk through everything. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. We do a lot of updates there, and Facebook and LinkedIn as well. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye.